The question I want to answer this week was asked by a viewer. It said, Doug, I was always led to believe that nail resin and glue are different. Is this correct? What are the differences and how do I know which to use? This is a great question that illustrates a big problem in the beauty industry in general, and it demonstrates how confusing nail terminology can be. Why does this continue to happen? Largely because marketers too often use the incorrect terms to describe their products or services, which further reinforces the use of these incorrect terms. Trade magazines sometimes do this as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not blaming marketers and the magazines. They're just responding to the words that nail professionals use every day, and that's their job. It seems to me that much of the incorrect terminology comes from schools, educators, and veteran nail technicians who don't want to keep up with the latest educational information. That's why I focus on providing this type of information to educators. They are our best hope for improving the situation in the industry. Now to answer your question. In practical terms, resin and glue are the same thing, and it's a misunderstanding to think they are different. How did this misunderstanding occur? To understand that, we have to travel back into ancient times. The word glue actually refers to animal-based adhesives. Glues were originally made from proteins extracted from animal hides, horns, and hooves. In the 30s, that newfangled Elmer's glue was developed, and it was a breakthrough. It used protein found in milk, a protein called casein. Protein-based glues have been used since ancient times to adhere things together, and for thousands of years, all was well. But confusion began in the late 40s, when Elmer's glue changed formulas from milk protein to a synthetic polymer called polyvinyl acetate, or PVA. This polymer belongs to a unique class of polymers that are called resins. Why resins? Originally, the term resin was used to describe the thick, sticky sap that oozes from certain trees, bushes, and plants. These natural resins were also used by the ancients both as glues and protective waterproof coatings for wood, leather, and cloth. They were even used by early artists to adhere pigments to walls to make cave paintings. Interestingly, when Elmer's changed their formula, the term resin came to be used to describe any synthetic substance that could mimic the thick and sticky properties of natural resins. How does this apply to nails? Well, nail adhesives, wraps, and no-light gels are all based on a synthetic monomer called cyanoacrylate. It's not very thick or sticky, but this monomer will eventually harden to form a sticky polymer. So they are called resins. Even though this is technically not correct to do, they aren't resins, they're monomers. What's the bottom line? Okay, from my perspective, these products are no more glues than they are resins. But I'm okay with either term because the terms aren't wrong. But here's what I propose would be better. Rather than use inaccurate terms that confuse, why not use more professional terminology, such as the term adhesive when referring to things that adhere other things together, rather than the word glue, and the term cyanoacrylate monomer when it's used as a nail coating rather than resin. Consider this. Which would your clients have a greater respect for or be more impressed by? I think the answer is obvious. The main value of using professional terminology is that it would end a lot of confusion and eliminate it would end a lot of confusion, and it would elevate the nail industry in the public's eye. Getting the industry on this course has to start with the educators. They must teach correct terminology and its importance, or the situation isn't going to change anytime soon. So if you're an educator, please do your part to use correct terminology and make sure that the terminology that you teach is actually used. Explain the benefits of using this terminology to your students and demonstrate a high standard. That's what it will take to unify the industry under a common and agreed upon set of terms. So I hope you will help and do what you can.